ready for game 2 this afternoon. We're ready for Jacob deGrom. Right-hander winds it up, and his first offering to Bichette is sent right back up the middle, but Langford is there to grab it. One pitch, one out to start this one. Bichette trying to ambush. Now Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and he takes right on the outside corner. Strike one. He's getting on base at a very high clip because he doesn't mind taking a walk for a... Goes after that one, though, and it's 1-2. One out. deGrom ahead of ball and 2 strikes, and the right-hander comes to the plate. That's just off the edge. And you Stephen often asks, like, well, why is he so special? What makes him so good? Little tapper right back to the hill. And the former shortstop throws out Guerrero. 2 gone. But deGrom, to me, it's simple. Yes, he's got some of the best stuff in the game, but there are a lot of great...
That even though he already has good velocity, the way that hitters react, it looks like his velocity also plays up.
Strike to Varsho, left-handed hitter. And he hammers that ball down the right field line, and that is gone. And that's the one part of the story this year for Jacob deGrom that continues to be confounding. Left-handers have done damage. Varsho with his 8th home run of the year, and he gives Toronto the early 1-0 lead.
Slow spin. Now he comes back with the slider, a different type of breaking ball, but you see...
Alejandro Kurt. And his numbers all the way around are spectacular. That's the one number that I'm sure, 55 points better this year, but it's also the power with which they've hit him. It's just a little low. The count a little bit, but he's ahead 3-0 here. He's taken all the way. That's strike one. Clouds up above. Begun their storming around here. That one right on the corner. And very stormy since earlier this morning. The 3-2 pitch, and Kurt lifts that to center field. Hangs up for a long time for Langford, and the inning is done. Toronto, though, gets that first run of the ball game, and now
in the field trying as much as they could to simulate a game for him. Came out of it very Seager, Dave.
Yeah, no, there's no way they're going to waste those bullets on a simulated at bats as well. Now deGrom,
he played in a big league game yesterday or the day before.
Fouled away.
Missing so much time, and then the first pitch he sees, he hits out. Like, baseball's a harder game than that, and so many of these guys make it look not very hard at all.
And then there are those guys who stand out in that group, like this guy on the mound. 1-2 pitch. Bounced towards second base. Nice high hop for Semien. He takes care of Santander. 1 away.
But then you look at the guys that kind of have more so the average numbers, and you don't pay attention to those guys, and you don't value or covet their baseball cards as much, right? But then when I got to the bout,
it's not true, Murph. But comebacker. Great play by deGrom. And they're 2 gone.
Or any of these guys you talk about that are more on the star-studded side across baseball, like, that is so rare and that's so special.
I mean, again, it is such a difficult game. Different planet. One pitch, and that's on the ground, shortstop. And a routine play for Smith. Goes back to World War I. As Stefanik fouls this one back. Blue Star was then replaced with a gold one, and then sacrifice for our country as a bouncer shortstop. Smith picks it up and throws to first. Love to take that pitch back that he threw to Varsho. He runs a fastball in for a strike here to Lucas. 16 RBIs. He's been getting on base, though, and he bounces this one down to first base. Berger flips it to deGrom. Another ground ball out.
Which is in the middle, but you got to give Varsho credit at the same time for, squaring it up with ideal contact. And
Bo Bichette went after the first pitch he saw in the first inning. And he hits this on the ground, second base. Good backhand stop by Semien. He throws him out. An 8-pitch third inning. He's enjoying the day out at the ballpark. And at first pitch swinging, there's a roller past shortstop. And Vlad Guerrero Jr. is on to begin the fourth inning. DeGrom's first offering a little bit low.
But especially in a year last year, and we saw him in Toronto last year when he was really hot, but I don't feel like it's as much for power.
Varsho hits this one hard down toward that right field corner, and that will bounce up over the fence for a book rule double. Guerrero has to stop at third. And boy, Varsho seems to have some real comfort against DeGrom.
Well, the breaking ball got squared up last time, so he tries to go change up down in the strike zone, and this one stays in the middle of the strike zone. It is down where he wanted.
Here, Alejandro Kirk, the batter, and he'll take the slider away. Now the Blue Jays have in Tampa over the weekend. Kirk lays off another slider. It's 2-0. And that's off the plate. Kirk sends that out into right field. That'll be deep enough to get a run to the plate. Garcia makes the catch. Guerrero will tag and score. And Varsho moves up a base.
Here at the plate, even though the year hasn't been the way that he's wanted it so far. Kirk is. There's something to be said about the consistency of guys that sign big contracts. And
a 14-year deal. 0-2 pitch. That's low. Make sure you got him. 1-2 pitch. That's bounced down to first. Berger's going to come to the plate, and the tag placed right on Varsho. He is the second out of the inning. Another great defensive play by Berger down at first. Barger bounced back to the mound in the second inning, and he flares that one out over short. That gets in for a hit. Good job by Langford to gather it up quickly.
Difficult on your offense.
High fly ball. Short right center. Everybody meeting out there, but it is Garcia who takes control, and the inning.
When he gets runs, the Rangers win, and he's gotten 5.9 runs of support, which is 5th highest in the American League. Rangers are 6-4 in his starts. Good trend.
Yeah, keep that up. So yeah, maybe that 1-1 to Stefanik, and he'll lift one into short center field. Langford will make the catch. Heck, maybe they need to put DeGrom in the lineup. It was 15 years ago.
My goodness.
Isn't that wild? 15 years ago today.
I had no idea. But how many times over the years has his team either faced Chris Sale or they've seen Chris Sale dealing on TV and he said, I got that guy.
Here's what I'd suggest, guys. Earlier today, DeGrom qualifies in that regard, the 2-0 pitch. And that is how.
If there's ever any type of debate or backlash, you'd be like, oh, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see? And Chris Sale's mechanics are indisputable.
Here's a 3-1. And that's just off the outside corner. I'm watching DeGrom fiddling with his fingertips right now, and he was just looking at them in the glove just a moment ago. And third time through the lineup for DeGrom, and he's off the. That's low and outside. Last night, early this morning, however you want to look at it, and it's been what creates problems for you, the 3-0, and he just does catch a corner.
A blister issue, but either way, there's. Oof.
So that's back-to-back walks, and you just don't really ever see that. DeGrom, a little bit of traffic here. He could use a ground ball, and the Guerrero fouls that back
In the middle of the plate.
So 2-1. That's a beauty. One out in the inning. The right-hander deals, and that's lined out to right field. Garcia makes the waist-high grab. So 2 gone. The runners will hold, and Some respect for that arm out there in right field. Now his pitch. Yeah, that's fouled back.
Be a little bit more of the hard stuff this at bat.
Ryan went through a couple of pitches there. DeGrom finally agrees, and there's a bouncer right side of the infield. Berger flips it to DeGrom. He gets there in time, and they retire Varsho. So the inning is done. He works around, but also stand to keep throwing a while.
Yeah, it's good to see DeGrom back out there after we saw him just messing with his fingers a little bit. We talked about the humidity, maybe Bruce Bochy and Mike Maddox. So definitely a good sign that he's back out there for the sixth. The pitch count's still looking great. That was pitch number.
Booth, one of our favorite viewers. He's with us every day on RSN. Nice to see him. We don't get that all the time.
No, we don't. We love having visitors through here.
This one fouled off. 1-2. Oh, that just missed. DeGrom working with some tempo here. And makes that slide.
They definitely have their hands full with DeGrom, though.
3-2 pitch. Oh, up the middle. And that one goes off of DeGrom's glove, I think. It looked like he deflected it just a bit. 105 miles per hour.
Yeah, definitely not backing down. There's another look. It was hard to tell if it got any bit of it. Here's another look. Either way, well struck ball.
Almost able to get to that. Santander, the batter, and downstairs 2-0. And again, he looks down to his hand. Here comes Mike Maddox. It's as if
that hand once again.
Yeah, there's something bugging him. It doesn't take much either, boy, for a pitcher. It's pretty difficult. 2-0 on the way, and that is outside. Santander pops this one back behind the plate for the Blue Jays. A 3-1, and that is a called strike on Santander. And that one definitely looked like it was a little off the plate.
Yeah, that's a gift right there. 96 play.
Payoff. And that is in the air. Back of second base. High pop up for Smith. And that's the first out of the inning. And here comes Bruce Bochy. So that will do it. DeGrom done after 5 1/3 today. And I think he was just undone by something going on with that finger. So frustrating afternoon for him in that regard. He'll leave trailing 2-1.